New year, new TFT. Things look amazing for the start of 2021 so far, as if we didn't have enough reasons for wanting 2020 to be over. We are being teased relentlessly by Riot on Set 4.5's mid-set expansion, and we thought to compile what we know into a neat little presentation for you. 'Tis the season after all. Hey guys, and welcome back to another ProGuides Teamfight Tactics video. Today we're going to be looking into what we have learned about Set 4.5 Festival of Beasts. That's right, the mid-set expansion has a name now. Good for them, honestly. We have new traits, some old traits, and champions leaving, and most importantly, shiny new toys to play with. And by toys, I mean champions. Better to play with these types of champions than to play with my heart. Some faces we haven't seen before are joining, as some who are reprising their roles. We'll be talking about each of these categories of changes, bringing in what we know about each. Be aware of the things that can change last minute, especially around what traits do, but champions should be locked in by now. But before we dive right on in, I just want to let you guys know that we have a Discord community and a new subreddit that is growing really fast. We have you to thank for that, and we want to continue building our community and helping you guys be a part of it. Remember to check the link in the description down below. This leads to our new question of the day. What new champions are you most excited to see joining? Are you hoping for someone that you haven't seen yet? Traits leaving us. Quite a few traits are leaving the Convergence, especially compared to 3.5 where only 2 were cut. Let's go over them one by one. Dusk is leaving, and it's probably for the best. The trait, barring outliers, has been the most stable and recently the most dominant trait in Set 4. It was fairly easy to default to it, and it had quite a few malleable configurations. The extra spell power given to everyone was one of the strongest splashes in the game, and this opens up design spaces for stronger spells, not worrying about 20% making them go over the edge. Moonlight is another fairly dominant trait in Set 4, be it Aphelios, Diana, or to be the lesser extent Lysandra. The trait has been a major player in the set so far. It's not that exciting to play, as it's a hyper role comp. I mean, it's quite exciting for me because I love gambling. It makes sense for it to go away, opening up the way for other stuff to excite us. Tormented is gone, meaning really that Kayn is gone. He has his ups and downs, but his ups were a cut above. Besides Yone, he has been the most dominant legendary, if you exclude the always there value of Zilean. Since Shade is gone, oops, spoiler, it was either keep and change him or get rid of him, and poor Kayn never had the lobbying power to convince Riot that he should stay. Shade, as we just mentioned, is going as well. Zed is staying behind to become something else, but the rest are gone. It was an interesting trait, but it clashed with Assassin too much, and if we disregard the cool factor, it honestly won't be missed. Hunter is going away, taking some of the most problematic to balanced champions with it. The trait did a lot of damage, was tough to beat at times, and there seemed to always be a Hunter included in comp tier 1 for most of the set. The fact that it was a fairly flat trait that you cannot really interact with or control made it a little bit boring. Just more of a DPS boost. You'll be missed, Hunter, but we won't be unhappy to see you go. Finally, Dazzler is going away. Now we're pretty sad about this one, since our continued support for traits and effects that mess with opponents have never been a secret. Still, Dazzlers have been really annoying to design around for Riot, as well as needing to make room for new traits. As one of the traits that was either a god tier or a meta tier, it's not a bad choice to make. Honestly, we would have preferred to see Adept go away, but you know, such is life. And that's gonna be it for the traits moving out. All champions belonging to set traits are going away as well, with the exception of Diana for Moonlight, Morgana for Dazzler, Kindred for Hunter, and Zed for Shade, who are coming back with different classes and or origins. Sadly, the champions that followed their traits leaving were not enough. Some of the underperformers as well as overperformers are getting the boot, making room for some exciting people and, creatures joining us for the Festival of Beasts. First up, Jhin is going away. He continued from Set 3 and 3.5 only to end his reign here. It took a while for him to be strong, but boy is he a true terror in the battlefield now. Well, enjoy him while you can because he's going out. Another 4 cost leaving is Ahri, and personally, I'm quite happy with this one. The unit was toxic to gameplay, as amazingly fun as her spell was. She is really hard or next to impossible to balance without reworking, and it seems Riot agreed and just gave her a well-deserved after Christmas break till next set. Maybe we might see her in Set 5. Nami is going too, making some room for the new Mage 1 cost. Only fond memories will follow this little mermaid as she dives back into the seas, taking her Luden's echoes with her. Jinx has had some ups and downs in Set 3 and 4, but it seems they are not too happy with her as a CC unit for Fortune. The new Fortune champion seems to be more of a carry, so let's see what the future holds. Xin Zhao was like me to my parents, a major disappointment as he is finally getting out. Poor guy even went through a mini rework and still couldn't do much, even after the buffs to his rework. It might have been that his traits were wrong. Personally, I think the Divine Shinzao would have been extremely interesting, but Jax existed, so it was not meant to be. Finally, Hecarim, the quiet horsey, is going away. Quiet since he was always just there, never really doing much outside of being a good tank item holder for early and mid game, especially when chosen. Oh well, the new Elderwood champs are exciting, so let's go ahead and just jump right into those. And that's it for the bad news bears. Only cherry stuff from now on. Of what and who is joining the festival that is to be set 4.5. There's a lot of new faces coming in and we are so excited to see them. Some join new traits and some join old ones, but they're here nonetheless. We don't know the abilities of most of those, but many have to be reprisals of previous iterations based on them being the same cost. If not, that's even cooler, since we'll see new abilities being added to the mix. Legendaries. Starting out with the really cool stuff, Swain is here. He's a legendary Dragon Soul Siphoner, so everything about him is new. We will go into what each trait does later, so go ahead and stay tuned. Another legendary hitting the festival is Ornn, replacing Ezreal as an Elderwood legendary. He's a blacksmith and a vanguard, and top of those, so the big guy is keeping busy. Last new legendary is Samara. The newish addition to the league comes to TFT, and she's a sharpshooter, of course. She's also a slayer and a daredevil, so you can imagine how much damage she's going to be doing just from the names of those traits. Moving on to the forecasts, Aurelion Sol is back as one. The big dragon is a Dragon Soul mage, and he is here with a probably different spell than set 3, maybe his set 1 spell. We'll find out soon enough, though he has such potential for cool spells, so we really hope they give him something new. Olaf is coming back as well, and if he has his set 2 ability, boy, is he going to be hurting. He is also Dragon Soul, but he is a slayer, not a lover. Speaking of lovers, Xayah is back and she's a 4 cost now, quite the promotion. Her Beau Rakan is back as well, and even though he's a 2 cost, true love knows no tier bounds, as we announce them together. They are both Elderwood and Keeper, with Xayah also being an Executioner. Whew, scary. Kayle is back with the same ability as set 3, which is scary, and terrifying, which is I guess the same thing, as she is now Divine and an Executioner. You will not be able to mess with chosen Kayle. She replaces Warwick and is looking scarier than a literal big bad wolf. Just food for thought. Cho'Gath is coming back as well as part of the new Fabled trait. He is once again a brawler 4 cost and will probably have the same ability as his Void Days in set 3. Finally, the last new 4 cost is Tryndamere. He's here to slay and be an overall Lord of War. Hopefully he will be doing a better job than Shinzao. Warlords getting a 4 cost is also really good, as it will ease their transition towards the late game and give them a strong physical damage dealer, which they sorely needed. He is also a duelist, so the attack speed is going to be ridiculous here. 3 cost. Occultist Edition is Sivir, at 3 cost this time, and she's a sharpshooter. She's probably getting her Q from League, as sharpshooters already ricochet, and it would be pretty bonkers to give her a W. Shyvana is a welcome re-entry in the Convergence, returning from set 1 as a Dragon Soul brawler. With a new ability that Dragon Soul has, she could be a really strong mid-game carry. Neeko is back as well, but as the Fabled Mystic this time, is still a 3 cost though. We have no info on her ability, so we just have to wait and find out. Darius is the final new 3 cost unit, replacing Jinx as a Fortune Slayer, and if he has the same ability as in set 3, then ka-ching, should be fun. 2 costs. On the less impactful side, 2 new Vanguards join, Braum and Nautilus. Braum is Dragon Soul and Nautilus is Fabled, both with new traits. The champions are both reprisals, and we will see which spell they will have. Vladimir is a new 2 cost, coming in as his Cultist Siphoner and rounding those cultists up to 8, able to be chosen themselves in 9 for that sweet QS Galio. As for the 1 cost, there's a couple of new ones. Nasus comes to mind, as a Divine Siphoner, possibly a reprisal of set 2, as he's been using the same skin. Brand is back as well, probably with a different skill than his League ultimate, but he's still a mage, a Dragon Soul mage at that. Tristana is coming all the way from set 1 as a Dragon Soul sharpshooter, blasting fools and taking names in the name of her little pet dragon. Yep, that's the skin she's going to be using. And that's going to be it for the champions. Let's see where they fit into the canvas of set 4.5 and the new traits that we're going to be getting soon. The champions with Fabled origins are Cho'Gath at 4 cost, which is probably reprising the role from set 3 here as a brawler tank. Nautilus as a 2-star Vanguard tank, again with the same ability from set 3, most likely. Neeko a 3 cost mystic, and we don't really know what she does yet. Last time she was not a mystic, so her ability is a mystery for now. We don't actually know what the extra effects are going to be. However, Some indications from previous sets could tell us that maybe Cho'Gath will be dealing true damage like he used to do in the Void, or their abilities besides CC could provide some buff to allies or debuff to make extra damage. We will update you guys as things slowly come to light. Dragon Soul. This is reminding me of the Deathwing raid every single time I have to type it. Oh, the spine of Dragonwing, he will be missed. Anyway, back to TFT, and Dragon Soul is looking like a super fun trait so far. They gain a buff called the Dragon's Blessing, and the buff jumps from champion to champion as the holders die. Positioning and prioritizing of the buff will be super important in these comps. The comp effect itself is really cool, giving you stats as well as a breath attack, the bread and butter of all dragons in the universe. Only the tail swipe is missing, right? See to it that we get it. Champions introduced wearing the Dragon Soul origins are Swain, a 5-cost Siphoner, and yes, we'll be seeing what that is later. He will be the premier target of the Dragon Soul buff and a great bruiser for any team. Aurelion Sol, who is a dragon, so what else could he be? He's also a 4-cost mage, so prepare for some bombardments. Olaf, a 4-cost slayer, back to wreck some faces, another great target for the blessing seemingly. I mean, Shyvana couldn't be missing, right? She's a 3-cost brawler, and trust me, she's here to brawl. Braum has a dragon-themed skin, so in he goes. Replacing Hecarim at 2-cost Vanguard slot, he's the more defensive Dragon Soul option. Brand doesn't really fit the bill, but oh well. Another mage is Dragon Soul. He's a 1-cost though, replacing Nami and looking good doing it. Finally, Tristana is joining the ranks, back from set 1, and of course, she's a 1-cost sharpshooter. Overall, all these traits are looking super interesting, and we can't wait to see what we can concoct with this on the PvE. Daredevil. Another legendary trait, and it's Samira's to claim. Yes, she's joining and she's a daredevil alright. It seems at first glance to be a ramping sort of trait, where she'll be dashing around the map, dealing increased amounts of damage to her poor targets, hence the combo rating. Since she's still a sharpshooter, she will also splash, so tons of potential damage. Blacksmith. This is another legendary only trait, bringing us to a total of 4. This time it's to Ornn, so who else could it be? Maybe Boris the shopkeeper, I guess. Blacksmith is a sort of evolving, planning-oriented trait, not unlike Tormented, where you invested in it early for no return, but when it hit, the power spike was huge. Also, artifacts are really cool and will likely draw from Ornn's artifact items and League or Mythic items that are going to be introduced as well. We'll find out, but this is really exciting. Slayer. A fairly ominous name for the trait, but it sure gets the blood boiling. Slayers are supposed to be able to stay in the fight for as long as possible, dealing extra damage and healing as they go. We expect the trait to be quite popular and might trigger a tank meta to counter it even. Champions included in the Slayer origin are the following. Samira, the legendary new sharpshooter. Tryndamere, who's also a duelist and a warlord, so looks pretty explosive. Olaf, the Dragon Soul 4-cost carry. Darius, the Jinx replacement for Fortune, here to slay some fools. And Zed, who managed to stay in the game, coming out of the shade and into the slaying. Siphoner. These people heal, themselves and others. In a fun little twist of the Dusk trait, Siphoners give lifesteal to everyone, but keep even more for themselves. It seems to make them fairly sturdy individuals, especially if given items to increase their damage and thus their lifesteal. This is a better and easier to balance version of the Celestial from set 3, which was difficult because of the flat value. Now that the healing is more concentrated while strong, won't be too ridiculous. Champions included in the Siphoner origin are the following. Swain, the new legendary Dragon Soul. Morgana, also saved by the axe, coming back as a Siphoner. Vladimir the Cultist, and let's be honest, what else would he be? Nasus the Divine Doggy, who will likely have the same spell as set 2, his ultimate in League. Pretty strong potential opener along with Vladimir. Executioner, finally the last new trait, which is a small one, but it is also looking quite explosive. As the name suggests, these girls execute bad people, similar to how Valkyrie worked in set 3, but with more explosiveness, since there's more of them and Chosen is a thing. Champions included in Executioner are the following. Xayah the Elderwood Keeper, who is likely going to be the new Ashe, but with a Keeper twist that is making the Elderwood look quite delicious. Kayle, who is essentially the same as set 3 but stronger. Yeah, how is that not going to be a problem? She's a Divine as well, so true damage crits. Kindred, making it back as a hunter and joining in as an executioner, which diminishes her extra early value, since she will essentially only have one trait until you find one of the other 4 costs. The chosen Kindred value just skyrocketed though. And that's all we have for now. We have not included many of our thoughts in this video, and thank goodness Litiq, the scriptwriter, didn't make this one too long because man, I am dying right now. We'll be waiting for some more info and hit you with that update as soon as possible, outlining our predictions and hopes for the mid-set expansion of Festival of Beasts. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let us know in the comments if you have any feedback or questions, and have a wonderful 2021. And don't forget, if you want to get better at TFT, don't forget to visit ProGuides.com, where you can find a challenger coach that will help you reach your dream rank. With all that being said, stay healthy, stay safe, and have a wonderful day. Peace.